Hi, today we're going to do a series of stretches to stretch and lengthen out our glute area and surrounding deeper muscle tissue. Now, some stretches don't thoroughly stretch out and get the maximum benefit for this area. Your glutes function is to mainly extend through the hip joint, so that's where you bring your leg back, and to laterally rotate the hip, so actually rotate the hip joint outwards. I'm going to show you a series of stretches in a lovely routine to help get all the benefit for this area. So first of all, part one. Naturally, you will all know probably the stretch where we put the foot over the knee, rotate the hip out, and then lift the foot up, holding onto the lifted leg and gently ease that leg in towards you. Although this is a really good stretch, it doesn't get the maximum area of the glute because of the lateral rotation that you're doing of the hip here. So, carry on with this stretch, and then to make it a little bit more beneficial, we're going to ease up to the wall. We're going to get the hips at less than a 90-degree angle on the wall with the feet parallel. Push your fingers forwards and open up the chest. We're going to roll up into a shoulder bridge, articulating through your spine. Taking one leg, so just gently activate your glutes here to support while we take the leg over. Ankle is actually resting just below the knee there on the thigh. Now, as opposed to pushing that knee out, we're going to actually pull the knee across the chest, so you open up the side of the hip here. So holding onto this knee, pulling it gently in, we're going to roll down through the spine. So holding that there, and when you feel the pressure here, just breathe in through the nose deeply, relax your shoulders and ease into that stretch. Play around with pulling the knee across the chest. Just come around here, Barry, and have a look from the back. So we're just pulling this knee in across the chest as we ease the body down into the stretch. You can play around with the shin moving forwards, pushing in and pulling backwards, and moving back. Try gently easing the knee out and just feel different muscles lengthening through this area. As we come out of that stretch, thank you, we can roll down onto the floor and sit ourselves up. Placing, again, the foot over the knee. Trying to sit up, pushing your knee outwards. So you want the shin here, the bottom part of your leg, to be as parallel and straight as possible. Pushing up, but gently ease the shoulders back, keeping the shoulders resting comfortably on the ribs. And then try and get your chest as close to your leg as you possibly can here. Breathing in through the nose, and as you exhale, just easing yourself together. If you struggle sitting in this position, try sitting against the wall instead and easing yourself across into a nice comfortable position here, pushing the leg out. From this position here, we're going to lie down into a pigeon stretch. So on the floor, we're going to take the legs, so one foot is going to sit out, a bit as we call in Pilates the mermaid pose. Okay, the backwards leg is going to ease up and you're going to slide it backwards. So you're leaning on top of this here. Now if you come round the back of me, Barry, you'll see my bottom here isn't actually touching the floor. So I'm going to relax my shoulders and keep my pelvis as square as possible, and then we're going to try and ease the hip down towards the floor. So you should feel it all through the hip area here. So gluteus maximus down through the thigh. Holding that there to try and move the body so you get the maximum out of this stretch. And then coming all the way back. Thank you. All the way back. Another way of doing this is coming up onto the step. So you can have a step or a stool, your dining room chair, have a go, different heights. Is placing the foot across the step. And we're going to ease backwards, over, so your other leg is behind you, directly lengthening into the hip. As the wall is in the way here, we're going to ease over that leg there. So I'm just going to pick this step up, move it forward so you can see what I do here. I put the foot directly across, holding it there, relaxing my shoulders, and I'm going to ease the back leg backwards so that I feel again, right, a nice, quite a deep stretch actually. Relax the shoulders, through here. Try not to contract your muscles and just relax your body as you ease into it. Trying to keep your pelvis, try not to tip over on this one. Try and keep your pelvis as square as you can, pushing your back hip here downwards, and you'll feel a much nicer stretch through this section. As we come up from that stretch there, the next stretch that we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to use the ball in the piriformis. So, piriformis is a muscle deeper underneath the glute, and this gets really tight from prolonged sitting, from athletic sports, and when that area deeper in the glute, underneath the gluteus maximus, deep in there, gets very tight, it can even create sciatic pain, so lower back, down into the leg. We're going to take a ball, spiky massage ball or a lacrosse ball, and I'm going to gently aim where my gluteus medius is, at the side here, just underneath the max, and we're going to roll across and find a tender spot. So I'm going to place the ball kind of where my gluteus medius is and allow the pressure. You'll feel a little bit of discomfort here. So we're going to relax the shoulders, and I want you to go forwards into the sacrum, so sideways, and back towards your gluteus medius, just easing into there, releasing into that tissue. Just breathe as you do this. It might feel quite tender. Fantastic if you have sciatic pain. And just to release deeper under the muscle tissue. So we're going forwards and back. If you find a tender spot, I want you to ease onto it and just breathe and allow the pressure to sink. Just sinking onto the ball. As we lie down from this, we're going to place the ball just between the back of the pelvis, so from the back of the pelvis to the bottom rib here. So we're going to go not directly over the spine, but towards the vertebra and out again. So forwards and back. I'm going to pull up into a shoulder bridge position, pinching my hips and ribs together tightly here. So take care that you don't arch over the back. This is not good for the back here. So make sure you're drawing your hips up by your external obliques, shortening your internal obliques here, pinching together. Relax the body onto the ball as we just massage side and back. You might feel any tender spot in there. If you get a tender spot, I want you to just hold on to that tender spot and breathe deeply and allow yourself to sink onto the ball. Move the ball down a little bit. And again, moving side to side, forwards and backwards over the ball, trying to find those tender spots, find the tender spot and allow your body to sink. Take it over the back of the pelvis, and you can do this at the top of your gluteus maximus, so where the muscle connects. And just again, side to side, just releasing into that muscle tissue. Constantly pulling up to imprint, relax your shoulders. And coming up off the ball to relax. Have fun with your glutes.